So, Aloy, 36 long years, isn't it?
How true. Very fulfilling. More than 3 decades.
Yeah, I mean, see, looking back, we worked for very large corporations, many functions, many geos, countries, and we have seen business from a variety of angles. We have had the opportunity to have an upstream experience, had a downstream experience. What I mean by that is, by virtue of working in a large distribution company, we had to deal with various brand owners upstream, large corporations, and complete gamut of things, how they build brands, how they create demand, all that experience. And then, most importantly, our transactions were downstream. So thousands of channel partners who were, small, medium, many large organizations, and a variety of experience. No two organizations were similar, and thousands of them, as I said. So, many of them we've seen from very small start, they have transitioned into becoming visible corporations, and many failures, normal, and many of them had ethical challenges and they fell off the cliff. So they're very, very nice experience we have. And now we are at a stage where we can really use our experience to pay back to the industry joyfully and get engaged and spend the next 10 to 12 years of our life.
Very true, very true. Most of these organizations are having different DNAs, but there are commonality of challenges. And the commonality of challenges could be, for example, a business model kind of a challenge in terms of how to scale revenue, which is why they are where they are today. They're either a startup or a started up. Or another challenge could be on how to manage their finances, how to manage their costs, how to manage their cash flow, or how to manage their operations. Their processes, do they have the right processes? Do they have processes for today which are helping their business? And are they investing in processes that will take their business forward for tomorrow? And the technology. And last but not the least, the execution model. Who is running the business for them? Do they have the right people, the right capabilities, the right resources, the right competencies? So because we have such wide, versatile experience, we can definitely add value to them.
Now, see, I would like to make a distinction here, right? So in enterprises, you have many different functions owned up by different people and who kind of exist in silos, compartmentalized, right? They have very little visibility to the other functions. But in SME, it is so different. The promoter has to better have control, visibility, oversight, whatever you may call it, over all the functions. Number one, each one need to talk to each other. Scale is small, and therefore they don't have the luxury of deploying a battery of people for different functions. At the same time, they have to be on top of everything. Resources are limited. Working capital is limited. They have to be constantly on the ball to perform. And that is where I think we have a golden opportunity to put them on rail, make them do the right things and grow, right? Now here, there are 2-3 things that come to my mind. Number one, SME is a horizontal. Okay, what I mean by that is that, they have, all the functions very uniformly and homogeneously, they're compacted, right? That is one. Number two is more important. They're agnostic of the industry they operate in, the business as such. That means whether you are operating in healthcare or in IT, in telecom, in automation, anywhere, but the business fundamentals remain the same, right? And that is where we come in, right? We may not be domain experts, but we know how to help them to run a successful business, right? So that is a very compelling, opportunity that is before us.
Very right. So most of these founders, most of these owners, they are domain experts without doubt. They have fantastic business ideas and they have a track record of success, taking it forward and bringing it to the level that they are at today. They have to be on top of every aspect of their business, and that's not by choice. That's by compulsion. And if we go in here, we can complement them and expose them to the best practices in areas where they may not be as good as they are in their particular domain. And this type of complementation can help them make progress in their business and scale and achieve what they want to achieve.
In other words, what you're saying is that extraordinary subject matter expertise does not necessarily translate into business success. They're two different things, right? And a lot of passion for the domain may not be a very good thing for the business, because then you tend to get carried away. So therefore, they need the right balance. And on the business side, we are perfectly equipped to help them. Now, coming to the challenges, we should not lose sight of that as well. There are small organizations, resources are limited. They are very cost sensitive, logically so. And they, rightly or wrongly, they have a feeling that, they know everything about running the business, which I respect, but it may not be the fact, right? So there we come in. They may have a resistance to us, right? What is that? They don't know that they have to learn from outside consultants or advisors or mentors. That is actually our challenge is. How do you think that we can overcome that?
So it all starts with giving it a chance and having a conversation. So we need the founders and owners to have an open mindset. They should lose nothing. There's no downside in having a conversation. In a conversation, we can open their mind to a lot of areas, and I'm sure, being as smart as they are, they will know what value they can get from experts or people with lots of experience like us. Finally, as you said, though cost may be a constraint, no, they would not be unwilling to pay if they can assess the kind of value that they get versus what they pay for it. So I'm sure the conversation is going to expose them to the kind of value that they can receive from us. And if that happens, then it can be a great collaboration, conversations to address expectations, and potential collaboration in the future.
If we can create a delta for them, right? Either in terms of trimming the unnecessary costs or making their business grow, make them expand to the adjacencies, make them expand to different geographies, which they know, but they're so consumed in the day-to-day work that they're unable to address it, plan for it. So coming to the cost part of it, or coming to the unwillingness to incur cost for such advice, I would say that, look, the delta of their profits or the additional dollars that they're going to generate, this will be a marginal subset of that. I don't think those issues would be there once a conversation starts. So therefore, conversation. We have to keep on speaking to people, and I'm sure once the dialogue gets established, they will see enormous value.
Oh, I agree with you. So let's look forward to more conversations to address the kind of expectations that our SMEs have. Amicus is finally SME by SME for SME. So we are endeavoring to provide strategy, management and execution services to small and medium enterprises. And with all humility, we consider ourselves subject matter experts, and we have many more like us on the panel. So we look forward to more conversations ahead in the future. Thank you.